Thank you, thank you. Thank you for that kind introduction. Good morning, everyone. I first want to thank you, Paul, for inviting me to be here today to celebrate in the International Baccalaureate 40th Anniversary Conference. I'm honored to be standing here today among so many IB teachers and IB principals, IB staff, and IB policymakers. Seeing so many people in one room who had a hand in my high school curriculum, I really don't know how to feel right now. But well, let's just smile or throw something. No. My personal story, I know, would not have been possible had it not been for both the power to think and the will to act. These two fundamental values are what brought me from Baltimore City, where I was born and raised, and on to Newport News, Virginia, where I completed the IB program, on to Morehouse College on a full scholarship, and on to Harvard Law School, where I'm now completing my second year. My IB education certainly laid the foundation for many of the successes I'm grateful for now, and taught me many lifelong skills which I continue to develop today. I learned attention to detail by conducting all of those tedious HLS biology class experiments. I remember one particular semester I had broken so many instruments that my teacher actually attached a bill to my intern report. I learned persistence by writing my 24-page paper for world history the week it was due. Unfortunately, I also learned once I got my grade that analyzing and summarizing are two different concepts. I learned that every word has meaning by writing those key passage commentaries, as I believe they were called, which were most times twice as long as the passage itself. I learned to accept the things I do not know by taking TOK, still confused as to whether a house burns up or whether it burns down. I learned time management by completing the program with honors while serving as class president for 3 years and then student government president. But most importantly, the IB program taught me how the power to think and how the will to act could shape my life if I allowed it. But what does this mean for us? On one hand, the power to think. On the other, the will to act. Kind of like Bonnie and Clyde, or IB and TOK, if you will. One is ineffective without the other. My high school professor would tell us, thought without action is fantasy, just as action without thought is folly. The power to think, I have found, is the very core of IB's mission. It is more than the ability to guess or ponder or speculate on abstract ideas. The power to think, rather, is the power to create. It is the very real and tangible power to conceive and conceptualize and devise, the only power with which we are all innately equipped. In TOK, we were taught that nothing happens unless first thought has occurred. The power to think, therefore, is what makes something out of nothing. It is what causes us to hope in the face of adversity and believe in the midst of uncertainty, what causes us to look past our natural situation and our seeming shortcomings. The will to act is equally as vital. It is more than the ability to start something, the want to be successful, the wish to make a difference. The will to act is the fortitude, the resolve, and the steadfastness to start and follow through. The will to act is what makes our thoughts things. Einstein once said that the greatest atrocity of the 20th century was not bad men who did evil. It was good men who did nothing. The will to act, therefore, gives us life purpose. It is what compels us to contribute to our community for the betterment of all. It doesn't shrink or diminish because someone told us that we weren't smart enough, or that we weren't good enough, or that we weren't good looking enough to do something. Instead, our will to act is emboldened as we see the endless possibilities that it opens in our everyday lives. As we recognize the dire political and economic and social problems of today, it is clear that our world and our nation needs you now more than ever. We need you, teachers, staff, coordinators, principals, educators. We need you to equip our students with both the will to act and the power to think. That middle schooler in Harlem with neither money nor connections but only a dream needs you. That high schooler in New Orleans with no family or support system but only a flicker of hope needs you. Just as that elementary school in Baltimore City who was told he wasn't smart enough to be a lawyer needed you. We need you to answer the call as only you and each and every one of you can.